Hey everybody, Knock Knock Neil here with an unexpected question of the day. I thought the first two that I did earlier today was going to be enough, but when you see something like this with a lot of context and you know you can help, I just can't help myself but help, right? If you are new to this channel, my name is Knock Knock Neil. I represent the Self Mastery Protocol, and I am a talk therapist and a mentor. I've been through a lot and I've conquered a lot. And because I've conquered so much, it's given me a lot of insights to the human condition, to the human experience, and I don't know. I'm part of me believes that because of all the insights that I've had or that I've acquired over my life, I pretty much have an answer for almost anything. So, but you know, show and prove, right? So here is a question I found on Reddit that was intriguing enough for me to make another video about. So here we go. I don't really know to where to start to what to say other than I feel genuinely lost. I'm 26 and I work for an electrical company and the money is okay, but it's wearing on my mental and physical. I'm only in there because a friend got me in and they trained me. So if I want to go anywhere else and make the same type of money, I'll have to do schooling and I don't think I can afford that or still have time to do it and still work through enough hours to pay my bills. I don't have a very big social life, if one at all. My dad passed away in July, 2 months before my mom's 2-year anniversary of passing, and I did a lot with him. He was my buddy. I know it wasn't right of me to make him my only friend, but it was hard not to do with the circumstances life presented to me. When I'm not at work, I'm in my room laying down. It's about the only thing that feels good. I have a gym membership, but I don't have a good routine, and when I do go, I feel awkward and stupid. I usually just do some time on the treadmill, then head out. I smoke a decent amount of weed, and I know that it doesn't help any of this, but it's the only constant I've had in my life, even more so now that my dad's not here anymore. I feel like if I cut back or stop, but I don't know how to live a life without it, unfortunately. When everything and everyone lets me down in life, I know I can fire up at the end of the day and not care about it for a while. It's been that way for the better half of 10 years now. I'm most scared of not being able to sleep and the dreams I'll have when I do get to sleep. And beyond that, just like knowing how to live life sober. I tried to get closer to God, but it doesn't seem like I'm feeling what everyone else who believes feels. It feels like God has abandoned me. Nothing feels bright anymore. Nothing feels good. I'm responsible for my niece now that my dad's gone. He took custody of her after my sister passed 3 years ago. I want to give her the best life I possibly can, but I'm scared all I'm going to do is let her down. I'm not trying to be like woo-hoo, woe is me, but I'm all alone, it feels like. I've been looking at life coaches, but don't know if that's worth it or even if it's that deep. I'll appreciate any and all advice or encouragement. Thank you for reading. Okay, so this one is heavy and I get it. Okay, so firstly, I am sorry for your loss of your father, your mother, and your sister. I am so sorry. That's a tough one. Um, Okay, but to get to the crux of the question, so everything that I needed to know is in the first few sentences. I work for an electrical company and the money is okay, but it's wearing on my mental and physical. I'm only in there because of a friend got me in and they trained me. So if I want to go anywhere else in life, I'll have to do schooling, but I don't think I can afford that and do work at the same time to pay my bills. Okay, so this is you being stuck, right? You're in a workplace that pays really good money and you're only there because a friend trained you. So if you want to make the same kind of money, you have to go to school. So you want to pursue something that's really for you, but you can't because you can't afford to, whether it's time because it's time expensive or because it's actually monetarily expensive, right? So what you're going through is like a lack of growth. And the reason why it's a big deal is because this guy Maslow, he theorized that every human being has like a set of needs, right? Beyond food, shelter, water, and stuff like that. He says that we have like beyond basic survival, we also have safety needs, love and belonging needs, like needs for like friendship, family, self-esteem needs, and self-actualization needs, right? So not only have all of your love and belonging needs are very deprived, like you don't have a big social circle and your family has passed, I'm sorry to say, so these needs are not being met. but also your need to self-actualize, to, to realize your full potential and self-fulfillment is also not being met, which is the main reason why you smoke a lot of weed. And I'm willing to bet that you started smoking weed around the same time that maybe not at the exact same time you started working here, but maybe just a little bit after, when you realized that you were sort of stuck here, right? So what's happening to you is you are creating superficial happiness. You are not happy because you're feeling stuck, and you're stuck because you can't pursue your self-growth needs, right? And on top of that, you have a niece that you now have to take care of, which also adds to, the whole challenge of, I want to pursue me, right? And the feeling awkward and stupid, and the feeling like, all you're going to do is let her down, is all sort of related to your inability to pursue your needs, right? Because you've been stuck in this job, that this electrical company that just pays you, and you're trained for it, but that doesn't necessarily mean that who you like you're it doesn't necessarily mean that who you are is growing, right? You have this, like, outside, you have this sort of like work part of you, or like this, this professional or serious part of you, or your false self, where you have to do your responsible self, where you have to do this, you have to do that, you got to pay your bills, you got to take care of your niece, you got to hold it down, and all that stuff. And you're doing all of that at the expense of a part of you that really wants to grow and see what you really want to do and what you're made of, right? So, and because there's that part of you that lacks growth, you feel awkward and stupid when you try to do something, when you try to do something for yourself. And because you're unable to grow for yourself, you don't really know if you can raise your niece, because basically you don't really know what you're capable of doing outside of the electrical work that you do already, that you're trained to do, right? So there's a part of you that feels underdeveloped, or that is underdeveloped, right? Because you're trying to hold it down the best way you can with things that you have to do. So this is my advice to you. Okay, you have two conscious decisions as an adult that you have to make, right? So conscious adult decision number one is you pursue your goals. You pursue your need to self-develop, and see what your life is, what you can really do with your life, right? And this means busting your ass and doing all the hard stuff, right? Because if it means going back to school and doing school full time, or doing some sort of apprenticeship and being at work full time and taking care of your niece, those are a lot of challenges that you are going to have to face, right? But the pursuits of your needs and conquering these challenges is what growth is all about, right? So if you choose this path and you conquer it, which you will if you are that determined, you will know who you really are. You will know what you're made of. You will no longer feel awkward and stupid, because you'll have more confidence in yourself, because you're growing the part of you that's underdeveloped. And you will no longer worry about raising your niece, because, like I said, when you conquer the challenges of paying the bills and working full time and going to school or an apprenticeship, you will see what you are made of. You will see the grit and the iron that's inside of you, and you'll feel confident. And especially when you get the momentum going, you feel confident, and you'll be like, you know what, I really got this. I really, really got this. And when you start to believe that you got that, then raising your niece won't be so scary, right? And on top of that, because you chose the path of pursuing who you are, and pursuing your self-development and pursuing your needs, your smoking a decent amount of weed will eventually go away, because you will no longer need to create superficial happiness, because you will no longer feel stuck. Because you are growing, you will feel happier. You will no longer need to pursue superficial happiness through weed, and your addiction will eventually subside. You may just need weed just to help you sleep at night because your body is so used to the chemicals that like help you sleep. But to, to wake up and smoke one, to smoke one after lunch, to smoke one after work, and then to smoke one like while you're chilling, you won't need to do that anymore. Because like I said, superficial happiness will no longer be there, right? So conscious adult decision number two is you accept that your life is no longer lived for you, right? Because you have a niece now that you have to take care of, and it seems like you're the only one to take care of her. So your purpose now becomes the her self-development, right? Being able to give her the opportunities that you were not able to have, that maybe your family, the rest of your family members were not able to have. So that involves you consciously saying, okay, I have a niece now. I can't, my life is now for her. It's not about me anymore. So just buckle down and do this. And I accept the responsibilities that it takes to raise her as best as I can, right? You can't feel forced to do it because then you just end up self-sabotaging it. It's something that you have to genuinely accept when you say, my life is not for me anymore. I choose the path of purpose for my niece. And then you kind of just run with that for however long you have to, right? Will you stop smoking weed? I don't think so. Because you're not quite happy as you want to be, or maybe, it won't be so bad raising her and, giving up sort of your life to, give her all the opportunities that you maybe were not able to have, right? So yeah, I think that is it. Um, is that all I want to say? Yeah, I think that's it. All right, well, I hope this helps you. What's your name? Okay, Werewolf 3376. This could be, a throwaway account, but either way, I hope this helps you. And yeah, reach out. If you think if this message video helps you, and you want another conversation, you think, what I gave you was some pretty good guidance. My website is a self-mastery protocol. I would love to help further if you need somebody to talk to kind of figure this out even more. And if not, all the best. Take care till next time.